Are you feeling overwhelmed in your business? Are you drowning in emails and tasks and voicemails and scheduling requests? And the whole time you're thinking, what I want to be doing is growing and scaling my business and doing the fun stuff that I got into business to do. Imagine if you could delegate all of those tasks to someone for as little as $3 an hour. Hey, if we're just meeting, my name is Danny, and I have done just that. Over the last 6 years, my team and I have helped over 3,500 entrepreneurs and business owners just like you staff over 7,000 virtual assistants that have helped with things like email and scheduling and voicemail and all of the stuff that I just mentioned, plus way more. So if you want to scale your business, increase profit, get your time back, and have more fun in your business, this is the video for you. I'm gonna give you a step-by-step guide to hire your first or maybe your 20th virtual assistant to allow you to do all of those things in your business. Let's dive in. Step number one is to get clear on exactly what you need. The biggest mistake I see entrepreneurs make is that they hire someone or they want to hire someone that's a jack of all trades. Now, while this sometimes works, I will tell you that this is one of the biggest pitfalls because you're hiring a generalist and then you start giving them tasks in all different areas, which doesn't work. I want you to think about it this way. If I hire someone that's really good on the phones, great at sales, that person is probably not going to be detail oriented enough to do my books. So I hope you get the point. The way to do this is I want you to make a list of all the things that drain your time. If you want to do a quick little time audit, what I love to do with clients is go through and have them write down through a day what they do every 15 minutes. When you look at that list, highlight all the stuff that makes you money in green. Take a look at all the other stuff that's probably sucking up a ton of your time, and then hire to replace that and get your time back. Now, I will tell you that for most people, the first hire is gonna be a great executive assistant. In fact, that is the most common position that we staff over at All Star VAs. Some of the other positions that we staff that are super common are social media manager to blow up all your social media accounts, video editor, inside salesperson, bookkeeper, and customer service manager or CRM manager for your database. That should give you some food for thought as you go through and identify the exact need that you have for your business to ensure that you're able to grow and scale. Now, keep in mind, you can, of course, hire more than one virtual assistant. We now have 8 on our team. And as you grow, you're going to start hiring specialists in different areas. But for now, if you don't have any virtual assistants, or maybe you have 1 or 2, you're trying to do a little audit and see if you're doing well, you want to replace some people, think about those things that are the most important and hire for that need first. Hey, if you're getting value from this video, can you do me a quick favor? This is a newer YouTube channel, or maybe you're watching this in a year and I have 1 million subscribers. But either way, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you're a business owner who wants to grow and scale with systems, leverage, AI, and automation. All right, step 2 is to write a killer job description. All right, before I go any further, I'm gonna tell you that I got you covered in this area. Over these 6 years of hiring virtual assistants, we've written down everything, and we've created standard operating procedures, task lists, job descriptions, you name it, we've done it, including 90-day plans, KPIs, which is key performance indicators, and also daily schedules for almost every position that you could think of. That executive assistant that I told you about earlier, that's the main one. For most people, that's going to be the most important position. And if you want to grab my standard operating procedure and ultimate guide to hiring an executive assistant, click the link down below, throw your email in there, and I'll shoot you over that ultimate guide so that you have it. But whatever job you want to hire, it's so critical to write a very in-depth and very detailed job description. Where I see a lot of people going wrong, again, is that they're too general, they're too broad, and they don't write out all of the key performance indicators and accountability items that you want this person to accomplish for you and the results that you want this person to obtain. Again, if you want my help with any other position, just let me know in the comments and I'm happy to help you out because like I said, I have almost every standard operating procedure for most positions that you're looking to hire. All right, part number 3, here comes the fun part. Now that you've identified your need, you've identified your job description and written that out, it's time to actually go out and hire this virtual assistant, which begs the question, where are you going to find them? Okay, like I said, I've been doing this for 6 years. You have 3 options. I've done all 3. I'm gonna tell you which one is best and most efficient. Option number 1, you can do this yourself for free. So you can go on websites like Fiverr, OfferUp. There's also a bunch of job placement sites in the Philippines or in India, depending on where you want to get your virtual assistant from. You can start placing your own ads. You can start sorting through all the different virtual assistants that are on these platforms, reviewing them, reviewing their resumes, doing personality assessments, reviewing those, giving them tests, testing for all kinds of things like backup power and all these other things that we look for. And then you can identify candidates, interview them, and hire them. So as you might be thinking as you listen to that list, the challenge with that is that your goal in hiring a virtual assistant is probably to free up a bunch of your time, right? If it is, and you start doing all that on your own, what happens is that you've now turned into a recruiter, and a recruiter is a full-time position. Over at All Star VAs, we have dozens of people that all they do is this every single day. Place ads, look through ads, call references, sort through resumes, do personality assessments. So if you like doing that kind of stuff and you want to take up your time doing that, by all means, go right ahead. I will tell you that I've done it. That's actually how we started out when we first hired our virtual assistants over 6 years ago. Now, I'll tell you, we got lucky. The first virtual assistant we hired actually still works with us. But a lot of times we didn't get lucky. A lot of times it took us a long time. We hired some people that didn't work out because of that. So what I will tell you is that if you're looking for a project-based person, let's just say, for example, I need to build one landing page or I need a logo. All those websites are great. If you're looking for full-time help on your team, executive assistant, video editor, social media manager, all these types of things, I don't believe that that is the best option. Which takes me to option number 2. This is your traditional virtual assistant staffing company. The way these companies work is that you go to them and you pay them a flat monthly fee. That can range anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500 a month for a full-time person, sometimes more depending on skill. What they will do is they will go out and hire a virtual assistant, and that person will be their employee, and then you will pay them that amount. They will pay the virtual assistant a small fraction of that amount. Now, here's the key thing to remember with that. Although that sounds seamless, and we've gone that route as well, the problem and the challenge with that is that you do not have control over your workforce. Now, if you hire one person this way, it might seem like it's a no-brainer, it's no problem. However, when you start to scale, the other challenge you get into, of course, is that you're paying that huge markup on each virtual assistant that you hire. So I want you to think when you hire 2 and you're paying $2,000 a month, and you hire 3 and you're paying $2,000 a month, that starts to add up pretty quickly. You also have no control over your workforce. If something happens to that company, they go out of business or something like that, you've lost your virtual assistants. Also, if something happens, there's a dispute, let's say, between you and the company, or the company just decides, hey, someone else is gonna pay more, or I'm gonna place these virtual assistants somewhere else, it also creates a problem and a challenge. So I will tell you, we've done that, we've gone that route, and at the end of the day, it's not a model that I think is scalable for most people. It's also not something that I would recommend. Which leads me, of course, to model number 3, and that is our model at All Star VAs, which is so unique, ends up saving you between 50 and 75% or more on costs and fees in the long run. You have control over your workforce and your virtual assistants, and here's how it works. When you hire All Star VAs, what we do is we go out and we find candidates for you. We do all that heavy lifting that I talked about initially for you. We provide you with 3 to 5, sometimes a little bit more, ideal candidates that fit that job description. We'll even help you craft the job description that you want. Then when you pick the perfect candidate for you, that person becomes your employee. You control them, you control their wages, you set their wages, you pay their bonuses. We don't take any overage, we don't take any cut from that amount. You pay us a fee for doing all of that work for you and for ongoing coaching, training, and support. And this is where the secret sauce is. When we first started the virtual assistants and we were doing it on our own, we had to figure everything out. We didn't have a coach. We didn't have any support. With All Star VAs, you get all of that, and that is what your monthly fee covers. You can have one virtual assistant, you can have 5, 10, 15, 20. We scale with you on a fee that only increases on a set range for virtual assistants, not each time you hire a new one. And if you want to learn more about that, of course, hit that link below, go to allstarvas.com, just book a demo, book a consultation. We'll chat with you, we'll show you exactly how all that works. But in my 6 years of staffing virtual assistants and having virtual assistants, I will tell you that I believe, yeah, I know I'm biased, but this is the best model for the business owner, for you. It's the most cost efficient, allows you to control your workforce so you can sleep at night knowing, hey, these are my employees. If anything ever happens, these are my employees and I control them. So that, I believe, is the absolute best way to hire your first, your 5th, or your 20th virtual assistant. All right, step 4, you've decided the method and the process by which you want to hire a virtual assistant. Now comes the interview. So what does the interview look like? Well, I will tell you what the interview looks like with us. What you're going to do is you're going to get on a Zoom call with one of our hiring managers. They are going to place a candidate in front of you, and the rest of the candidates are going to be in a Zoom room. What they're going to provide you with is a resume, a DISC personality assessment. If you're not familiar with that, it's just an assessment of the personality style of the person that matches up with the role that you are looking for. And they're also going to provide you with work samples, for example, for a video editor in advance of that interview. You're going to review that, and you're going to have an opportunity to chat with that candidate. Ask any questions you want. If you don't know what questions we want to ask, we actually have a complete hiring guide for you that's got sample questions, what you should be looking for, all of that kind of stuff, personality fit. So you're going to go through all of that in that process. And then after that, you are going to identify a match for your position. Now, in the rare case that we don't find a candidate for you on that first round, we can then go ahead and do another round of interviews where we'll bring more candidates that may suit your needs. And at the end of that process, you are going to find a fantastic candidate that fits the role that you want. We'll set up a start date, and then with our coaching and co-managing, you'll get started working with your virtual assistant. We'll provide you with the entire setup and the entire system of how to pay them, how to monitor what they're doing in their activities, the reporting that they'll be providing to you, and everything else, so you don't have to worry about any of that as you go on your virtual assistant journey. All right, now step 5 is something that I definitely recommend that you do. Not all people do this, and not all people follow my advice, quite frankly, but that is to have this person do a test task. Try saying that 10 times. Test task. You try it. So here's what I mean by that. Let's say you're hiring a video editor, and I recently did this. What I recommend is that you give 1 or 2 people a test to do an edit for you. And then when it comes back, you're going to look at it and see how it looks, what you think, and who you like the best. I highly recommend this because a lot of times, what people say on their resume or what people provide you as work product may not necessarily be representative of what they do. If you're hiring, let's just say, an executive assistant, you may give them a test. You might say, hey, if you got these 5 things, how would you prioritize them? Or you might say, write me a sample email or something like that. I highly recommend the test with any employee as a probationary thing. And you can do that after you hire them. You could say, listen, I'm hiring you under the assumption that you're going to do this test and you're going to do great. Or you could do it before you make the formal offer. Either way is fine. But with employees and with virtual assistants, I always recommend the test as a way to confirm that this is really a great candidate. If it's a salesperson, for example, you may want to have them do a live cold call. Give them a number. Hey, call this person and do your script. You give them a sample script and you see how they do. And by the way, that's a great way to identify someone that doesn't want to do sales, because some people I've had, when I give them that, they go, no, I don't want to do that right now. And so that weeds them out immediately. All right, step 6 is your onboarding. So you've hired your virtual assistant. They're starting tomorrow morning. What do? You give them the tasks and you say, all right, go get them. I'll talk to you in a week. No, that's not what you do at all. What you want to do, especially in that first time period, that first day, week, month, is you want to have a lot of oversight. Now, that oversight as you go forward in the relationship will actually decrease as they prove to you that they're doing a good job. I always follow this model. It's always worked for me, and I highly recommend it for you. Number 1 is you show them what you want done and they watch you. Number 2, they do the task and you watch. And then once you're satisfied that everything's being done the right way, the way you want it, that's when you let go and let them do the task, and then you review it afterwards. So onboarding is very critical. You want to set the right expectations. I recommend a start of day message. We use Slack for everything. I recommend an end of day message with an end of day report that shows you what they accomplished that day, their time, and all of that good stuff. And then huddles every morning. We have huddles with our virtual assistants every morning. I think it's an amazing thing to do. It takes about 15 minutes. We go through their day, what they're doing, and all that kind of stuff. And that is really helpful to make sure that the priorities are straight and then everyone's doing the right thing. And as I said, as you go along in the relationship, this can peel back so you have less time and you're not managing as much or leading as much, and then you're just doing more working on the business and things like that. But especially initially, you really want to set the right tone with your virtual assistants, and that starts in the onboarding. All right, and then step 7, what happens next? So your virtual assistant has started, you've onboarded them, you've set a cadence for accountability and all of these things. Where do you go from there? Well, if I have to be honest, with us, our virtual assistants have really become like a family to us. Our virtual assistants are amazing team members. They do a great job. We all work together well. And then they are able to advance up in the ranks and do more in the business. So what I recommend is checking in with your virtual assistants just like if they were employees in your office. You know, we do a weekly one-on-one check-in just to see how things are going. We also do quarterly evaluations and reviews. We talk about where they're going, what's next for them in their position, what their goals are, and where they want to move up and what they want to do in the company. You know, we treat our virtual assistants just as if they were employees sitting in our office, even though they are halfway across the world. All right, so look, I know I've given you a lot here on a step-by-step guide to hire a virtual assistant, whether that's your first, 5th, or 20th virtual assistants. I hope you found this helpful with a step-by-step guide. If you need more assistance and more help, drop a comment down below or book a consultation with All-Star VAs. We'll get one of our amazing All-Star VA consultants on the line with you. We'll do a quick audit of your business. We'll see exactly what you need, and then we'll share with you how we can help you make that happen. But if there's any other way that we can help you, please let me know. And once you have your VAs, or as you're getting your VAs, one of the best things to think about is how you're going to create a business that's going to run without you and make you money while you sleep. And you can do that by watching this video right here.